Alright, welcome back. It's going to be one heck of a season, I think. To be honest, I don't think we've done the best job maintaining our performance through this regulation change, though we're going to be playing a bit of catch-up this year. We're counting on you, but you've got the whole team behind you.
Well, the engineer is not wrong. The job this season is a massive one, and you guys will see that in a moment. But first of all, guys, welcome back to career mode for the start of season 5. And as you can tell, we have joined Ferrari. It was the most popular choice in the vote, and it won by a relatively decent margin. Quite a few choices. Mercedes was quite popular as well. And personally, I wasn't going to do Ferrari because I've already done them on this year's game. But because of the circumstances of the last time we drove for Ferrari, where my career mode save got deleted and I never got to finish my career mode with them or win any of the 2 championships, I have very much unfinished business with the team. So we're going to try and win both championships, or at least the Drivers' Championship with Ferrari. You can see on the screen at the moment, we do have no rain expected this weekend. You guys would have also seen in the background the poll results from the guys, all of you that have voted, over 2,500 of you. So a massive thank you guys for the support on that. You can also see on screen right now what the situation is. Ferrari have taken a massive L over the winter, as have McLaren. You know, we protected as many parts as we could. But McLaren also dropped down quite badly. Red Bull and Aarava and CalHD are the quickest teams, with Williams now in 3rd place once again. And yeah, there's a bit of a gap there from McLaren all the way up to Racing Points. You very much got a top 4 and then the rest of the teams, and then Ferrari at the bottom by themselves. So we've got a huge mountain to climb. In terms of the R&D tree, you can see on screen, it's not looking good. The durability, Ferrari didn't protect one part. So our car is going to be so fragile. There's going to be so many retirements for my second driver teammate, and we're going to have to work on this. But I'm already accepting the fact we are going to have to take maybe even 1 or 2 engine penalties at this point this season, because it's going to be a long, tough season. It really is, and we've got a lot of work to do. In terms of other news, we do have driver transfers, and the biggest ones were quite surprising, actually. Bottas went to McLaren, replacing me, so he's now alongside Carlos Sainz in that team. Sebastian Vettel actually left Ferrari, which I was expecting Seb to be my teammate. That's why I signed as a second driver. But he actually moved to Alfa Romeo, who are now the second quickest team, and he's replaced Ricciardo. Speaking of which, Ricciardo has gone to Toro Rosso, and quite a surprising one, a quite massive downgrade for Ricciardo, and he's replacing Kvyat, because Kvyat has moved to Ferrari, and he is my new teammate, and he's the number 1 driver, and I'm number 2 at the minute as things stand. And then finally, Antonio Giovinazzi has gone to Mercedes, replacing Bottas, who left for McLaren. So there is your kind of driver circus over the winter, and there is one small positive to all of this, and that is the fact we have inherited 5,000 R&D points, which is going to be a massive boost for us, and it's going to really help us out, because with how far down the pecking order we are, we need these points, and you can be guaranteed we're going to spend absolutely all of them, or as many as we can, in this episode here today. And we're going to add some points to that as we now jump into practice this weekend, because we're going to try and make sure we hit the practice programs, and we did a pretty good job of it, to be fair. By the qualifying performance test, the car was okay. You could definitely notice the downgrade in speed compared to last season, and just generally this car is very, very slow. We lack a lot of speed on the straights, as you can see here with the McLaren just blitzing past, and that is not even the McLaren of last season. That's just a midfield McLaren. So we're going to be in trouble as we jump into qualifying, and to be honest with you, anything other than a last row is going to be a good qualifying, and that is saying something in a Ferrari. On my first run, we made a mistake here in turn 3, running a bit wide and missing the apex completely there. I still pushed on though to see if I could improve the lap and at least finish it to get some kind of a benchmark. And we made a mistake here. I cut the corner, turning just a fraction too early, and with strict corner cutting, that is going to mean an invalidated lap time. So the first attempt was nixed. Normally I'd finish the lap to get a delta, but because we can't afford to use the engine too much because the durability is so poor, I just abandoned pitting low engine revs. And then on my second run, the exact same corner again, turn 3, I locked up, I got it wrong, I tried to get the throttle down on the curb, spun the car, and into the wall we go, and we lose an end plate. And so far, it is a massive reality check in qualifying, as we cannot find any pace or rhythm in the Ferrari in this qualifying session. So it's not looking good, and it's all going to come down to the final lap and what can be produced here at Albert Park. And straight away, we're going to try and line up the lap. We had the tyres nice and cool, we had a very slow lap, and we're going to try and give it everything as we use the overtake on the pit straight across the start finish to start our lap here. 1.5 minutes to go. Down towards turn 1, brake at the 100-meter board, really commit to the inside line and take a nice bit of inside, and also exit curb, open up DRS on the exit, using overtake down towards a struggling turn through which is going to haven't been able to do that well all weekend. We lock up again, but we just about managed to get the front end turn in, missing the apex slightly. Now through turn 4, clearing the momentum over the bump, and now flat out through 5. And so far, we get through sector 1 relatively unscathed as we now make our way into the start of sector 2, throwing the car in, this time no corner cuts, nice and clean through this little right-left chicane which feeds onto this long swooping right. And now you look for the brake point, which is when the wall on the left-hand side disappears, and you want to brake hard for this 90-degree right, really use all the exit curve and try and get the pound down as soon as possible, as it's going to be really important to get a nice bit of top-end speed along this curved back straight as sector 2 draws to a close. We now throw the car in to the chicane, one downshift, full commitment, and trying to go flat out on the second part of the corner, opening up the DRS, and once again, a little bit more overtake if you need it. Now looking for the 50-meter ball as your reference brake just before it for this kind of 90-degree right, which follows up by another 90-degree right. Important to tap the inside curve to get some extra rotation and don't run too wide, otherwise you will invalidate. Then hard on the brakes for the penultimate corner, a corner where we do struggle when the tyres tend to overheat at this point in the lap. And now quickly back on the throttle, opening up the DRS and using overtake to the line, and that is going to be a lap of Albert Park. And it does give us 18th place ahead of our teammate, but still 1.7 seconds off the pace. And eventually others would improve, and it is both Ferraris at the back of the grid, and we beat Kvyat by 9 thousandths of a second. And you can see really, I think on a perfect lap, I think a P16 could have been possible, but that would have been the absolute maximum with this car. So already a reality check, and we've got a massive mountain to climb. If we even score points in the race, that would be a massive, massive result. But guys, that is ever qualifying, and we're going to try and do something and try and pull something out of the bag, because we need to try and do something in this race. So let's see how we get on, and we're starting from the back row in 19th, but it's now time for the race and the Australian Grand Prix.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996.
The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race.
Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position,
And it's Pierre Gasly in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell,
Leclerc, Sergio Perez,
and Vettel,
Hamilton, Magnussen, Sainz,
and Valtteri Bottas,
Norris,
Giovinazzi, Alexander Albon,
and Hülkenberg, Raikkonen, Stroll, Romain Grosjean,
and Daniel Ricciardo. Martinez and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid.
and with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, here we are then for the opening Grand Prix of Season 5 for the Australian Grand Prix, starting from 19th place on the last row alongside our teammate Danny Kvyat. We are on the clean side of the grid, which is good, but we've got a long way to go before we score any points. And in terms of the strategy, we are going to start the race on mediums and then move onto the soft tyres. I think that is going to be the best strategy for us to score some points today, and hopefully going long in the first stint and then having that soft tyre at the end will give us the advantage. Fuel-wise, we are going to run 1.5 laps extra, and there is no rain expected, so pretty straightforward race. All we've got to try and do is hopefully stay with the pace of the cars in front on the medium, and then hopefully we can strike later on the soft. But either way, it's going to be a very tough race, but if we can score at least 1 point, I'll be so happy. But either way, let's get racing, and it's now time for the Australian Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's build up the revs and try and get away off the line as the 5 red lights are on, and they are out, and away we go for a brand new season. And it's not the best start. We do match Kvyat relatively well considering he's on a soft tyre, but I'm on the outside here for turn 1, not much space. Kvyat on the right hand side of us, struggling to get any kind of traction down on these tyres at the minute. as we drop to 20th and last. We're going to try and go on the inside here of Kvyat on the brakes into turn 3. They are going very, very slow as we struggle for grip. Trying around the outside of Kvyat here. We just about pull it off, I think. Yes, we do. We make the move and we get in front, but Kvyat's coming back at me here. He's trying to come back at me down the inside, but we just about keep him behind us. I might just... Do I let Kvyat go? He's on the soft tyre. You know, I might be just ruining his race, to be honest. Either way. I'm on the brakes. Got to be careful here. They are braking very early at the moment as they're all kind of in a procession. Danny's going to get the run on me here again. I'm trying to hang on. Kvyat's on the inside. This is going to get nasty. Kvyat trying down the inside. We're going to be still hanging in there as we just hold on. But do we really need this? Is this really necessary? I guess we'll hold on for a little bit. See if we can get this medium tyre up to temperature and into the race. But at the minute there's not much pace on this. If Kvyat tries again, I won't defend it. I'll let him go because it's probably better for him really to do his thing. We've just got to try and keep pace with everybody on this medium type before we get the chance on the softs. Here comes Danny again. We're going to let him go. I'm not going to fight it. He can go. We're doing our own race on these mediums. But I need him to hopefully have some relatively decent pace. I'm going to try and focus on following him and staying within his DRS. That's the plan.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
We have 0 pace at the minute. Just really struggling for any kind of race pace. The medium tyre is a very slow tyre, but also this car is just not very good. Not much grip here at all. There is a Mercedes, I think, struggling in front of us, or potentially just not that fast. Either way, it's causing this sort of train to form, so we might get some racing soon, hopefully. I think we've got a car with damage. I think it's a Mercedes. Although we've got ourselves into the DRS range, which is good. That will help us out. Just keep up with the pace a little bit more, as we do improve on our personal best into the 122s, but the pace is very poor. So it's actually no Mercedes series. I think it's a Toro Rosso. Oh my god. Oh, that's getting ugly. Got to be careful. Kvyat, so it's slow. Ricciardo as well. Just going to be wise here. These scraps can be dangerous. Ricciardo, Kvyat side by side. You can see how the Ferrari lacks straight line speed as Kvyat drops back. I'm going to go down the inside of Danny there. A little bit of contact with Daniel Ricciardo. I'm going to try and get past him as well if I can. I don't want to lose contact with the 3 cars in front. Here we go. Into the chicane we go. I think Ricciardo's missing a bit of wing because he's understeering quite badly. Here we go. DRS on the Toro Rosso. We're going to go to the outside. And we make the move. Early apex just to protect the inside line as the cars in front go side by side. Ricciardo's coming back at me though. Side by side. This is close. There's a bit of contact mid-corner. We are going to be on the inside line. That will give us the position. Unfortunately, no DRS for us in the pit straight, which I really thought we had. So Ricciardo might come back at me. We're going to have to defend. Kvyat's looking for the move as well. This could get ugly into turn 1. We're going to go for an early apex again just to defend it. And there we go. That's going to buy me some time. And we're going to pull away a little bit from Ricciardo. Let's try and get to the back of the guys in front. Personal best again. We've got some 2-1 action in front of us. But just can't quite get within the DRS range just yet. Hopefully on the next lap we can make it. Also, Kvyat has got ahead of Ricciardo, which is good to see. Into the chicane. I might just be able to get the run on Grosjean here, possibly, although he does have DRS and the cars in front. So we're not quite close enough just yet, but we are there now. We are within DRS range. This car's a real handful to drive, though. It doesn't feel that bad. It's just very slow, so I'm having to overdrive, which is causing me to lose the back end and have moments. This Toro Rosso has got wing damage. I can see he's missing a left front end plate, so that's why this is happening, and there's a bit of a hold up here. But Grosjean's going to get the run. We don't have nowhere near enough straight line speed. We are lacking quite severely in that department. It's turn 1, and that Toro Rosso locks up, and that's going to put Grosjean right on the back foot. So we might get a chance here for a double overtake. We're going to have to go to the outside. Come on, Ferrari. Come on, Ferrari. No, can't make it on the brakes. I haven't got that confidence or that stopping power yet. Let's see if we just try and follow Roman and stick with the DRS and hopefully get the Renault in front. Through the chicane. We are going to get DRS. Very nice run through there. Grosjean hasn't got any speed at all. Maybe saving energy. That was close around the outside. The car literally has 0 stopping power. When I press the brakes, nothing happens. But we do manage to just about get the move done and get in front. P16. Not my cleanest overtake by any means. That was quite bumpy, but we do make the move. But Grosjean is not done yet. He's now going to have DRS. We've got our engine turn up. I'm going to try and hold the line to turn 1. There we go, that's good, and then we can stay in front now for this bit. I'm quite confident. So we're up to P16 on mediums, making definite progress. It might be slow, but it's definitely steady. Struggle so much for these final couple of corners. They are really closed in on me. As we've got a car leaving the pit exit, it's a Williams of Leclerc. As we set a personal best. Keeping Grosjean behind, which is good. But I am burning up a bit more fuel on the RS than I would like. Grosjean pits, as we're on course for another personal best.
Daniel is in the pits. Daniel in the pits.
Yep, Danny in the pit lane. As Magnussen leaves the pit exit there in the Williams. Those guys going for the hard tyres. Interesting strategy. Maybe the one stop was hard to soft, but the team said I could do a medium soft, so that's what we're going to try and achieve here today. P14 as it stands. But we have got 0 pace here today. I really don't think we're going to score a point, but we'll keep pushing. Never give up. You never know what can happen. We are gaining on the cars in front. More cars in the pit lane, quite a few this time actually. That will push us into the top 10. So we've got a car leaving the pit exit here. It's Pierre Gasly in the Alfa Romeo. On medium tyres, we have to avoid contact. Can I get in front of him? Possibly. Don't think we can. The Alfa is one of the top cars on the grid. We are gaining, but better off just to sit behind and not fight that battle because we're probably going to lose it. We've got quite a few cars queuing up now to get past, including both Williams and the Racing Point. I'm not even going to fight this because we just don't have the pace to fight this. More cars in the pits though. There goes Leclerc. Cars leaving the exit as well. This could get nasty. Someone's hit me on the rear as we go around the outside of Hamilton. But Hamilton gives me a shove. There's contact. And we're sideways. And we're backwards. This ain't good. We need the cars to move. Oh my god, what a disaster.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
Well, unless there's a safety car, this could be the end of our race. I'm going to have to go for the hard tyres now. I haven't got a choice. And I need a front wing change as well. This is going to be painful. Got the cars queuing up behind us now. This is such a shame because I was hoping to make something happen on strategy, but not anymore. There goes Idri. Everyone's just going to overtake us here because there's no point in me running.
Don't forget, box this lap.
There's no point in me running and wasting engine mode when I don't have the pace for the corners. Let everyone go by without losing time and just get on with our own race. Oh, this damage is so painful. Look at that, Stroll's behind us. We was right behind Stroll before he pit.
Caution, caution.
Oh, a Racing Point's gone off. Interesting. If we get a safety car VSC now, that would really bring me back into this. But I need that now. I don't think we will. The Racing Point's continued on. Not sure what happened there. It's Perez. Get it all slowed down.
Now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Well, here we go. First pit stop in Ferrari colours. It's going to be long with the front wing change. Oh man, what a disaster first race.
Complete, go now.
There we go, we rejoin now on hard tyres, but we've got a long way to go. And it'll be P19 behind Daniel Ricciardo. We can only hope for a safety car, that's all we can do. Hope for a safety car, because if it doesn't happen...
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
If it doesn't arrive, then it's going to be a horrid first race for us. Perez is much quicker than me. I'm not even wasting engine mode because we don't have the pace compared to the Racing Point. And there's no point in me killing off the engine because it doesn't have any durability on it. So I'm just hurting the engine for no reason. We're nowhere near any points or anything. So, like I said, what I can hope for is a safety car. Dare I say I may even retire if nothing happens in the next 5 laps. Here comes Perez. He's gaining on me. We're going to just stick to the racing line. Let him go the long way round. But he's got too much straight line speed. I can't compete with that. Luckily, I'm going to get the DRS. But you can see how much we lose in acceleration. This engine needs a lot of work. But Perez gets by and we're now down to last place in the Australian Grand Prix. Yet to see any retirements so far. Personal best, but that was with DRS assistance. Perez is long gone, and I've actually realised in the minimap the Red Bull back Max Verstappen is closing in, and we're probably going to get lapped, so this isn't going to be pleasant.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
For a second there, I thought I was going to get a Christmas present, an early Christmas present, the clear out of the race, but it wasn't to be, just a VSC, so we're not going to really get any benefit from that, which is a shame. I was really hoping for a safety car there, and I thought we had it. Verstappen's just about 3 seconds behind, so he's going to lap me soon, so yeah. This could be an early shower for us. If Verstappen does lap me, I'm probably going to retire and save the engine. Good restart from us there, nice and tidy. Let's see how many laps we can stay ahead of Verstappen before he laps me. Sebastian Vettel out. In the Alfa Romeo, another big retirement. That's 2 now in this race. Seems like there's no safety car VSC though, unfortunately for us once again, as we get the last 10 laps of the race underway. And we've now got a blue flag warning. So yeah, I think this could be the end of our race, to be honest.
Blue flag, blue flag.
We're going to have to let Verstappen go. And go a lap down, which is not ideal. I'll do 1 or 2 more laps, and if nothing happens, then we're going to call it a race.
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
I think we're going to call it a day, guys. Just nothing's happening. And if there's going to be a safety car, it needs to be now, so that we have enough laps to make some overtake. So I think we're going to call it a day for this race. We'll go again in the next one, but that was definitely not the race for us, and an absolute disaster, really. Really bad race.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
Well, there we have the results, and it's the end of a disappointing opening race, and as defending champion, it's the worst possible outcome, and it's a real shock to the system. Max Verstappen wins in Australia and also scores the fastest lap, so he is going to score 26 points, and he won by 20 seconds. He was dominating today. Pierre Gasly P2, George Russell in third, making it a 1-3 for Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton P4 for Racing Point ahead of Carlos Sainz and Valtteri Bottas in McLaren. Then we've got Magnussen, Norris, Hulkenberg and Giovinazzi rounding out the top 10 here today, with Raikkonen just missing out on the points along with Lance Stroll. My teammate Kvyat in 13th, Albon, Perez, Ricciardo, Grosjean finishing up the classified runners, with Grosjean, Ricciardo and Perez 1 lap down. And then we retire from the Grand Prix along with Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc to end a miserable opening race. And yeah guys, we're going to jump straight into the laptop here, because we need to put on some urgent upgrades, and they have to be really effective. So let's get into the laptop and let's see what the scenario is and what the best option is moving forward in terms of improving this Ferrari car, which is actually in a critical state.
Not the best way to end a race. What went wrong? You had a bit of a rivalry going on, but it looks like he bested you. Are you missing your old team? Appreciate your time.
Right, so here we are then on the laptop, and we have 5,847 points to spend, and we need to spend them. And first of all, I have noticed in the aerodynamics, we are actually mid-table. Even though we're quite a way off McLaren, we are mid-table, so that can wait for now. That's not really urgent, and also I don't really have many upgrades available to me. The engine, though, we're at the bottom, and it's quite bad, and we need the power. We need to improve, so that's going to be a major improvement area. And in terms of the chassis, there's not many upgrades available as it stands, and we are last by quite some way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from side to side here, and we'll focus on durability at some other point, because at the minute we need the performance. So we're going to go for a chassis upgrade here. We're going to put on all the minor ones, because we need the car to improve in the very next race. So we're going to work here, do all these engine power ones. So we're going to put that on. We'll go back over to the chassis. We'll throw on some tower upgrades, because they're going to be key for our strategy. So we'll throw on another one. There we go. And then we're going to go back up to the engine. We'll put on some more engine ones. I'll leave off on the fuel consumption, because that's not performance related. We'll only focus on engine power and ERS. So we'll buy these two as well, because these two will lead us to the last upgrade. And then let's have a look. So we've got a couple of ultimate ones available as well. We're going to do more chassis work though. So weight redistribution, there's brakes, weight reduction. Yeah, we'll do that one. That's good. We still got one for the brakes here. Do I do this one? Do I go down here? I'll go down here because these are cheaper. So we'll do these. That one as well. And we'll also throw on... Can I throw on another engine upgrade possibly? Yes, I can. Fuel consumption. Do I want to do fuel consumption? I don't really. I'll rather do ERS. We can't afford this ultimate one, so we'll buy this one here for the ERS as well. And then we've got 600 points left over. So I'm just going to throw on this general maintenance one as a bonus, so that will arrive for Bahrain. And there we go. We spent all of our points. You can see on screen in the bottom right, we're going to make a big improvement at Bahrain. Hopefully we'll be second from last, so we'll hopefully overtake Toro Rosso and Renault, but still we're going to be a long way off. But luckily we've spent up all of our points, we've invested heavily, and there should be some big improvements on the way for the next race, and that should mean that the car does improve quite a lot. All we hope for now is that they all arrive and none of them fail, because that's going to be really, really important. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode here today. If you guys enjoyed it, then drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed, and buckle up guys, because it is going to be a long journey, a tricky journey with Ferrari, but we're going to try and take them back to the top. If you are new guys, turn on notifications so don't miss any videos from me in the future, and also guys, check out these two videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode very soon for the Bahrain Grand Prix. But until then guys, it's goodbye from me.